everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at an old school Star Wars set that came out in the year 2003. It's a good year. It is set 4478 and it is the Geonosian Fighter. Not to be confused with the newer Geonosian Fighter from like, oh gosh, what was that, 2010, 2011? This one here has 170 pieces and 4 unique minifigures to the set. It cost originally $20. And now, if you want it used, it's going to be $78 and brand new in package, $154. So the value of this has gone up quite significantly, and that is due mostly to the 4 unique minifigures, which we will take a look at. Okay, so starting off with the Geonosian battle droids, these are supposed to be a special color. As you can tell, they are a kind of like weird pinkish color, pinkish brown maybe, and they look very, very different from our normal beige Lego battle droids that we've gotten, even with the OG line. This is the only color that they come in one of the only sets, I think maybe the only set that they come in this coloring, and from 2003. They redid this when they started making the episode 2 sets again back in, I think it was 2013. And they made them very burnt orange, which was much more movie accurate. But these guys are kind of valuable just due to their color in terms of battle droid, because most battle droids are worth virtually nothing. They do have their old-fashioned guns there, which look like the little foghorn. And they are supposed to be identical. Now, I must say, this set, when I bought it, it only came with one, and so I had to order the other minifigure via Bricklink, and the backpack is not attached to that one. But it's really not a huge deal to me, though the piece coloring is relatively rare. But there we go. We have 2 battle droids. They're built the exact same way as normal ones. It is just their coloring on the plastic that is different, but still pretty dang cool. You can kind of make an army of these. They're not as expensive as the super bright blue battle droid from, the gunship of that same year. So there's that. And then we have the Geonosians, which I think that the ones that they came out with that are newer are more accurate looking, but I see where they tried. Obviously, he has a totally brand new head mold that is a little bit creepy. Had they done some coloring to it and moved the eyes a little bit more forward, less sideways, I think it would have done a little bit more good. But as you can tell, there is some printing with some gold around the neck and the legs. Relatively simple. You can see the rib cage there. This one did not come with wings, and the other one does. That's just how the set is. Only one of them can fly. I don't know if that's a Geonosian species thing where some have wings and some don't, but this is the one that came with wings. And I personally like these wings better than the new ones that they give us. The head fits much better because it's plastic rather than like a molded rubber. But the rings are relatively similar to the newer ones, but just really cool because, you can kind of see through them. They're a little bit transparent. Overall, I think, though, pretty cool. So the 4 unique minifigures are what make this set pretty valuable because you don't see them in any other set. Now, looking a little closer at the set itself, this is the Geonosian canon, and it's funny because when they've remade these sets, since they've put the fighter in its own set and the cannon in its own set. So both of them are Clone Wars versions that you can get, but this was the original, and the pieces that they use are actually relatively nice in my opinion. Like, this is a printed disc piece there that's got some like coiling on it, I guess, to make the cannon work. And then that really bright trans orange they don't use very much anymore, so that's cool. It does have an articulation point. You can't point it down a whole lot, but you can point it up, and it hinges at both places, though it is relatively flimsy just because it is only on that one point, and it does, if you can't already tell, swivel around. So it is actually pretty versatile, I think pretty playable for that reason. On the battle droid armed here is a little platform where your Geonosian can stand and control the cannon, and then you can place his gun back here. And then we do use some of that nice dark burnt orange on the bases here, just so that the set has a little bit of cohesion to itself. And then, of course, we are using the old dark gray. So, man, that color is really ugly, just like coming from dark bluish gray that we all have now. I'm glad they changed that coloring, but pretty cool. So there's the little cannon. It's pretty flimsy and pretty modest, but I think it works well with the fighter here, which is a little bit cooler, if I will say. There is a gun, and that swivels around and rotates, which is actually really fun. There is also an engine on the back, as you can see, and then we've got some printing on these pieces here. It's really nice that they're not stickers. They didn't really do stickers back then, so the pieces that it came with are printed. And then these are supposed to be like little stairs. So if you take off the top, you can fit a Geonosian. And then you have this like stair look to make it look like the Geonosian can go up in there. I like, it's like a forced perspective a little bit. And those are printed pieces as well, and they're pretty cool due to that reason. On the inside, you could just have a little hollow spot to stick your Geonosian in, and he just barely sits. Gotta force him in a little bit more, I think. He might have to move his hands. He just barely sits in there. You sort of have to bend his arms, I think, to get his head to go in enough to put this little top back on. It's not the best cockpit lid. It just barely stays on. And then, of course, you can see the Geonosian through the sides here with this, there's his little arms. And then he can't see to steer. I assume there's perhaps a screen inside, but there he is on the top. Not the best way to store a minifigure inside a ship, but I do like that you can, if you want to, you know, play around with. This was overall, I think, a pretty cool set to have if you had like the gunship and a couple of the other episode 2 sets for like the action scenes. And you could get a couple of these and like make an army if you wanted to at $20. Of course, there is inflation now. Probably $30 or so if you were to buy it back then is what it would cost you now. I can see people like kind of maybe getting this to army build a little bit, which would be cool. The only thing, and I always complain, it's always the same kind of complaint, but I just have to note it. But anytime you can see the underneath studs exposed on ships, I really don't like that. I wish there was a more finished way that they could do this, but certainly they don't do that now, and absolutely they would not have done that in 2003. So anyways, there's also the bottom of the ship. But overall, I think it's a pretty cool set, pretty neat. They didn't make a whole lot of Attack of the Clones sets, so this is a pretty neat one to have. And I don't know if they ever will make a whole bunch of them. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye.